वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चातदे सतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा रस बिहारी राधा रस बिहारी राधे, जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान, सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान। जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय, जय गौरानिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद, जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव गुरुदेव, जय जय गुरुदेव। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल। Now we'll do the Mangalacharan. So how many of you are reciting Mangalacharan on a daily basis? Are you reciting it at least once? If not, I request you all to please recite the Mangalacharan every day, because Mangal means auspicious. So by chanting these prayers, we are invoking the auspiciousness of taking the shelter of Guru and Krishna. So it hardly takes like 3 to 4 minutes. So I request you all to please chant the Mangalacharan every day. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवे Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu bhayevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yuktaivam atmanam madparayana parabrahma parandhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam majam vibhum ahusvam rishaya sarve devarshi naradastata asito devalo vyasa swayam chaiva bravishime sarvadharman parityacha mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suja yatra yogeshwara krishno yatra partho dhanutara tatra shri vijayo bhute dhruvane termama om namo bhagavate vasudevaya om namo bhagavate vasudevaya om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So let us start our today's class. So anybody remember the divisions of the chapters that we did in the first class? What are the 5 divisions of this chapter?
So the first is setting the scene.
Okay.
And 2. Then it is Duryodhana's diplomacy from 3 to 14. Then Krishna's Parthasarthi's victory is certain, which is from 14 to 20. Then Achyutya, the infallible Krishna, 21 to 26. And then Arjuna's not to fight from 27 to 40.
Yeah. So far we have done the first 2 divisions, setting the scene. We thought the Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta, Yudsava, Mamaka, Pandava, Sheva, Kim Akurvata, Sanjaya. We saw that both the Pandavas and Kauravas, they assembled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and Dhritarashtra was having a doubt whether the battle will happen. Why did he have a doubt? Because he was worried about the
place.
It's a place of pilgrimage, Dharmakshetra. So he was just wondering if Duryodhana's mind would change. And in the next sloka, Sanjaya said, yes, the war will happen. And he also addresses Duryodhana as Raja just to motivate Dhritarashtra. And then the next 10 slokas or almost 11 slokas, we saw the Duryodhana's diplomacy. In the initial slokas, Duryodhana was first, whom did he approach? He approached Dronacharya and he said, Tava Shishyena Dhimata. And your students are very intelligent, that they learned the military arts from you and now they are against you. And particularly, he used the words in such a way that it can provoke the fighters. He used the word Dripada Putra instead of using Drishtadumna, because just to provoke Dronacharya about the enmity that he had with Dripada in his childhood days. So, and then he lists the 17 Maharathas in the Pandavas side. And by listing their names, what is happening to Duryodhana? He gets little scared. The fear rises in his heart. So now he is saying that nevertheless, our army is also not very small. So he lists some of the fighters in his side. Mainly he is dependent on whom? Bhishma. He said that our side is protected with Balam Bhishma Birakshitam. We are protected by Bhishma, whereas the other side is limited, which is protected only by Bhima. And we also saw that Duryodhana is most of the time talking about Bhima more than Arjuna, because What was the reason why he was more scared of Bhima?
He took the vow.
Yeah, he took the vow particularly. And even from the childhood days, because they both learned Gada together, and they were like more or less, always in a competitive spirit. So Duryodhan was always scared of Bhima, but he still wants to say that no, he's not a great fighter. His power is limited. He is just like a fig in front of Bhishma. Like that, he was trying to, and he was also listing many other fighters. He was listing about Kripacharya. He was listing about Karna. He also listed Vikarna. So he was listing them in such a way that each and every fighter will get provoked to fight. But why is that attitude coming in Duryodhana? Because Duryodhana knows that all these fighters are just there with him, but they are not fighting with their hearts, because this is not a dharma kshetre. So Bhishma and Dronacharya and Kripacharya, they have no intention of fighting with Duryodhana, but because they are obliged to him, because they are financially dependent on him, so they were taking the side of Duryodhana. And in the previous class, we also saw some other reasons why Bhishma Dev is in the Gaurava's side.
Yeah, because he was being taken care by Kauravas.
Oh, that is also another reason, but from the point of Krishna also, because if Pandavas were supported by Bhishma Dev, then the victory would have been very easy. Then Pandavas will not get the glories, isn't it? Because Bhishma Dev is such a great fighter, he himself would have tackled it. So Bhishma Dev, another reason Bhishma Dev was in the opposite side is because he wants to see Krishna very nicely, being in the opposite side. He wants to see the feature of Krishna. Like as Arjuna was behind Krishna, whereas Bhishma Dev could see Krishna very nicely in front of him. He was even describing in Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran that he was wearing the Pitambar Vastra, and he was describing the beauty of Krishna. So Bhishma Dev was on the other side. And Krishna also wanted to enjoy the Veera Rasa. Like Krishna enjoys many rasas, right? He enjoyed Rasa Leela. Like that, Krishna also likes to enjoy the Veera Rasa. He wants to enjoy the fight. So this is a supreme fight. The battle of Kurukshetra is the war it is a war which has never been fought in the history. Like 64 crore soldiers assembled in that war. And literally the people, the kings and the soldiers all over the world, they took part in this war of Kurukshetra. So the best of the fighters came there, and so Krishna is enjoying the Veera Rasa that is happening. So in fact, Krishna also would love to fight, but why he did not fight? Why Krishna restricted himself from fighting? Because if Krishna is fighting again, where is the glories for?
Go to Krishna.
Pandavas, right? So he wanted his devotees to be glorified. Krishna is more happy when his devotee is being glorified. Like a parent. A parent is more happy when the child is glorified. And even there is a saying, right? If you want to win a man's heart, love his dog. If somebody has a dog, it's better you go through the dog. You love the dog, then you can you can win the heart of that particular person also, isn't it? So these are some of the reasons where this war is being fought. Now, Bhishma Dev could understand that he is getting Duryodhan fear has increased. So just to cheer him up, what did he do? What did he do? He blew his conch shell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. By blowing the conch shell, he just wanted to cheer him. And how is the sound of the conch shell? How is it described? Simhanadam. It's roaring like a lion. So that, and then we saw that everybody started using their own conch shells, some swords, buggles, drums, and everything. So now the war has actually started. So far, it was just the setting of the scene and diplomacy of Duryodhana and everything. And now the war has actually started. So we saw that there was tremendous sound that was happening all over the battlefield. And that sound is like really, really unimaginable for us to understand. If we little bit of that FIFA World Cup and everyone, we can see even being in the TV, there will be a roaring sound, right? On the finals day, the fans all will be like very much cheering up. So this is much more than all those roaring sound. So that is how it is being mentioned here. So now we will go to today's sloka number 14. Please repeat after me. Tata shveter hayer yukte mahati syandane stitau
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
madhava pandavashaiva
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्कौ प्रदत्मतु
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदद्मतु
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्कौ प्रदत्मतु
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदद्मतु
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्कौ प्रदत्मतु.
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदद्मतु.
Would anybody like to recite the sloka?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, please, Mataji.
ततः श्वेतैर्हतैर्युक्ते
ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
माधवा पाण्डवाश्चैव
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदद्मतु
दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदत्मतु. Can you read the word-to-word translation?
Yes.
And the translation and the purport, Mataji.
Okay. Tata, thereafter, Shweta with white, Harye, horses, Yukta, being yoked, Mahati, in a great, Shandame, chariot, Shitau, situated, Madhava, Krishna, the husband of the goddess of fortune, Pandava, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, Cha, also, Eva, certainly, Divya, transcendental, Shankhau, consuls, Pradatmatau, sounded. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna, stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horses, sounded their transcendental consuls. Purport. In contrast with the consul blown by Bhishma Dev, the consuls in the hands of Krishna and Arjuna are described as transcendental. The sounding of the transcendental consuls indicated that there was no hope of victory for the other side because Krishna was on the side of the Pandavas. Jata Jayastu Pandava Putranam Yesham Pakshe Janardana. Victory is always with persons like the sons of Pandu because Lord Krishna is associated with them. And whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there because the goddess of fortune never lives alone without her husband. Therefore, victory and fortune were awaiting Arjuna as indicated by the transcendental sound produced by the consul of Vishnu or Lord Krishna. Besides that, the chariot on which both the friends were seated had been donated by Agni, the fire god, to Arjuna, and this indicated that This this chariot was capable of conquering all sides wherever it was drawn over the three worlds.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swamiti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desatarini. So here in this sloka it is described that first initially the conch shells were all blown by the party of Duryodhana. It was started with Bhishma Dev, and everybody else also blew their own respective whatever the instruments that they had. But in this sloka, it is mentioned that the conch shells that is blown by the next few slokas, we will also see what are the conch shells that are being blown by Krishna, Arjuna, Bhishma, and Yudhishthir, and everyone. And their conch shells are transcendental. So transcendental means they are not from this world and they have a special power. So this is what being mentioned here. And by blowing the conch shell, Bhishmadev is also giving another message that, this is gone. I mean, your hope to win in the war is gone. So he is doing it in two ways. One is just to give him the hope. Another thing is, what is the conch shell we discussed in the previous class? Conch shell is the remember, anytime we start an auspicious activity, like in the temple, before they do the arati, and any auspicious activity, we generally blow the conch shell, isn't it? What is the conch shell?
No,
What is
sir.
it made up of?
Okay.
It's a bone.
It's a pure bone of an animal. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it produces a transcendental sound. Om. Yeah. And what does Krishna says in chapter 8? I am the Om, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. So the sound Om is also Krishna. So this conch shell is the eternal possession of Krishna. Therefore, it is auspicious. So it indicates that there is no hope of victory on the other side because who is also there with him? The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, is also with him. So here there are few things that are mentioned. One thing is Arjuna's horse is being mentioned, the white horse, and Arjuna's chariot is mentioned. So let us just understand how did Arjuna get this horse as well as this chariot. So this chariot, which is used by Arjuna in the war, was given by Agni Dev. And we know that Agni can go anywhere, right? Whenever there is a fire, what is the power of the fire? Fire can go anywhere, right? In all the directions, isn't it? So we know that all the Krishna's weapons are in the spiritual world, like sword, gada, shanka. In the spiritual world, everything is life. So this shanka is also a person. It is not that we should consider that this is a matter. In the spiritual world, there's nothing called matter because every object in the spiritual world is completely conscious of his position as a servant of the Krishna. So I don't know how many of you have gone to the South Indian temples. If you see the chakra talvar, they say, you will see that there is a person behind the Sudarshan chakra. So this shows that everything, every weapon of Krishna is also a person. So it so happened once that Krishna and Arjuna they were having the cottages by the bank of Yamuna during this war. Many cottages were built in the bank of Yamuna. And Arjuna and Krishna were just walking along the banks of Yamuna, and they are walking alone and they are discussing something. So what do you think they will discuss? If Arjuna and Krishna walking in the banks of Yamuna, they are all alone, and what do you think they would be discussing about? Any guess? Pardon?
General about life, maybe.
No, they did not talk anything of that sort. They were discussing about the martial arts, fighting techniques, about what chariot to use, what weapons to be used, what are the strategies to win the battle, like that. Because this is a Veera Rasa which Krishna wants to perform. So while they were walking, suddenly a Brahmana who was blazing like a fire came in front of them. And the Brahmana asked him, "O best of Kshatriya, please help me. I am a Brahman and I eat a lot. So I'm approaching you to beg for some food." So then Krishna and Arjuna are asking Brahmana, "Please let me know what food would you like to eat?" And this Brahmana says that, "I have to admit that I don't eat any ordinary food. Actually, I am Agni Dev, and I want to swallow the Kandava forest. I tried many times to swallow by my power, but Indra always stops it because his friend Takshaka was living there. So whenever I set the fire, he pours heavy rain and he stops it." And he also said that recently there was a very big yajna performed by a king, and he poured a lot of ghee in it. So because I ate so much of ghee, I am suffering from indigestion. So I approached Brahma, and Brahma told me to swallow the Kandava forest because this forest has many medicinal herbs. Along with the medicinal herbs, there are also many Rakshasas and Asuras who are living there, and they are also doing a lot of harm to the people. So he instructed me to burn the Kandava forest and eat up all the medicinal herbs from there, and also to destroy all the Rakshasas living there. But you know that Indra is not allowing me to do that. So I said this to Brahma, but Brahmaji said that Arjuna and Krishna, you would be meeting Arjuna and Krishna, and when you meet them, you please ask them for help. And these two are the infallible deities, Nara and Narayana, and they came to accomplish the Devata's mission. So Arjuna and Krishna are called Nara and Narayana. Have you heard of Naranarayana deities in Badrikashram? Have anybody heard of that?
Yes.
Naranarayan? So
Yes.
that is Arjuna and Krishna, or the Nara and Narayana. So now Arjuna is responding to this thing by saying that you are Agni, you are the Devatas. So you're asking us to help us. So it is our duty to help you because we have come here particularly to fulfill the mission of the Devatas. So since it was already sanctioned by Brahma, so we will help you. But we need some help from you. We need some powerful celestial weapons because it is not very easy to counteract Indra, because Indra is not alone and he is also supported by many devatas. So I cannot just fight with the ordinary weapons that I have. So please give me some celestial weapons. So he asked for some inexhaustible quiver and arrows. Inexhaustible means Akshaya, that which never stops. So he wanted many arrows so that he can fight in this fight against the Indra. And he also asked for the Gandharva horse. So what is this Gandharva horse? It is a horse that can travel by the speed of the mind. So he also needs something like that so that he can travel very fast. And he told Agnidev, if you supply these two things, then I can fight and protect you from Indra. So now Agnidev told them to meditate on Varuna, and Varuna gave them these benedictions. So he gave them two quivers and the Gandharva horses, which can travel in the speed of the mind. So Varuna gave also Gandiva bow to Arjuna. And this Gandiva bow, it is the size of a man. It's not very small. It is so big and it has the color of rainbows and it is covered with so many precious gems. And the string sound will sound like a thunder. So if you just ring it, that sound is so turbulent, like it will be like a thunder. And Varuna also gave him the Soma's chariot, the moon god's chariot. So the Arjuna put his armor, making tremendous sounds, and he took Gandiva mounted on the chariot, and it made huge sounds. And Arjuna was really feeling very good. He feels that he have proper weapons and proper accessories for him so that he could fight the war. And he was proudly saying that, these weapons belong to me. And he was feeling very confident with this Gandiva bow and with this Gandharva horse and all the inexhaustible queers. And he also had a flag which had Hanuman in it. So, have you seen that in the Mahabharata war, the flag of the Arjuna had Hanuman in it? So, even now, Hanuman started making the sound. So, all the characters in the flag, they started making tremulous sound. Even the every animal that is present in the flag, they all started roaring. And there was uh, it was very much really frightening everyone. Like Hanuman's eyes was like a blazing eyes, and he was literally threatening everyone in the opposite side. Now, Arjuna, as a matter of etiquette, he just did not mount into the chariot. He circumambulated the chariot and offered pranam to the chariot, because the chariot is the one which is going to help him. So in the Vedic culture, we can see that they all had a proper respectful culture of respecting each and everything that they got. And Krishna's Gada is called Gaumodaki, and this was offered by Varuna. And this Gaumodaki Gada is a special Gada which can make a special roaring sound. So, and Krishna, for the first time, he became the chariot driver of Arjuna. So even before coming into the Kurukshetra war, Krishna became once the chariot driver of Arjuna. So now Arjuna is telling Agni, see, we are all ready to fight against Indra if he is coming to disturb you. So now you just start swallowing. Nobody can do anything to you, he is telling. Yes, of course, Indra and other devatas will not allow him, but Arjuna literally told Agni to start swallowing the forest. So Brahma ordered that everyone should be killed in the forest, and he should swallow the entire forest. Not a single animal should be spared in that forest, single animal or single living entity, because there were so many Rakshasas and the demons who were living in the forest. And Arjuna was going very fast. Even if there was one animal who was trying to escape, Arjuna used his arrow and killed them. He did not even let them go out of the forest. But good news is, what is the good news? Whomsoever died through the Arjuna's arrow in front of Krishna, where did they go back? They all went back to the spiritual world and attained their Swarupa. We saw in the previous class also, Swarupa means one's original constitutional position. So we are all related to Krishna. Constitutionally, we are all servant of Krishna in some way or the other. So they all got their original constitutional position. And now when Indra comes to know, what will he do? Will he be quiet? What did he do? He sent so much of rain. And Agni, because of the protection provided by Krishna and Arjuna, he exhibited a huge power that the water became vapors. And it didn't even reach the forest. So you can see Agni, when he tried to do himself alone, he could not combat Indra. But when he was blessed by Krishna and Arjuna, the same Agni could make the water into the water vapors. So this is the power of being a devotee of Krishna. Even the impossible things can be made possible. So Indra was more and more angry. This irritated him even more. So he put the heavy clouds and he put more rains. He increased his power. Like, remember in the Govardhan Leela how Indra sent Shamandaka clouds and he put heavy rains? Like that, he was putting very heavy rains now. So what did Arjuna did? Arjuna put a big net that no rain could enter into that. So he conquered Indra. So Agni could keep burning and he swallowed everything. And you know the fire, what is the nature of the fire? The more it spreads, it will become bigger and bigger, right? So the power of Agni became more and more, right? Because he started spreading everywhere. Now Indra was worried about Takshaka and the family. The main reason why Indra did not allow this one to happen is because Takshaka was his friend, and Indra, uh, gave him an oath that he will protect him. So that is the reason why Indra is not allowing this Kandava forest to be burned. However, Takshaka was not there during this incident, but the wife and the son were there. And obviously, they were trying to escape. But Arjuna cut the head of the wife, who is in the form of Naga. But Indra blew such a heavy wind that bewildered Arjuna also. And at that time, in a fraction of a second, Takshaka's son escaped, because even Arjuna was taken aback for a second, and in that the Takshaka's son escaped. So now he was very angry at Indra and asked him to fight. Now Arjuna did not want anybody to escape, so he was now asking Indra, now you fight with me. So Indra also felt that he is the king of Devatas. How can an ordinary Kshatriya can fight against me? Indra also knew that Arjuna was his son, but in anger, we lose out ourselves. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. We lose our mental status when we were in angry. So similarly, Indra, knowing that Arjuna was his son, but still he did not spare him. So Indra took his Vajra and attacked Arjuna. However, Arjuna contracted with, there was a special weapon which could cause heavy wind that disturbed the clouds. So he used that weapon so that he could disperse the clouds. So the clouds were all dispersed, and the sun was blazing like a sunny day, and a gentle breeze came, and the birds were all chirping. So Arjuna could easily counteract Indra. So Indra mounted on Airavata and rushed down to Arjuna, and he still did not want to spare Arjuna. Upon his defeat, he wanted to kill both of them. And Indra goes, and all the Devatas are also now supporting Indra, because Indra wants to kill Arjuna and Krishna. The Devatas are also supporting him. Yamaraj came with his club charging against Arjuna and Krishna. Skanda, the Kartikeya, Surya, Vasus, Marutas, they were all started to attacking Krishna and Arjuna. So now we know that the Devata's position, so Devata's position is not exactly all the time favoring Krishna. So now to support Indra, they also went against Krishna and Arjuna. So that is also one of the reasons, why we don't do the Devata worship in ISKCON. So there are many reasons. This is also one of the reasons. Devatas, although they are the servants of Krishna, but not every time they act favorable to Krishna. So now Indra knew that, it is impossible to defeat Arjuna and Krishna. So now Indra got very pleased with Arjuna, and now he said, yes, I am feeling very proud of my son. So when Indra lost all the hopes of winning the battle, now he wants to say, yes, Arjuna, you proved that you are my son. And Brahma also shouted at Indra, Indra, now stop this. Don't worry. Takshaka is not in the forest. And moreover, you have to remember that nobody can defeat Krishna and Arjuna. What is written in the last sloka of Bhagavad Gita? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanudhara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhute, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama. Wherever there is Krishna and Arjuna, the victory is certain. So nobody can defeat them. So it is the destiny that the Kandava forest will be burnt by Agni. So now Agni was following this Kandava forest for 15 continuous days. It was such a big forest, and Agni was following. And there was one Asura, his name was called as Maya Dhanava, and he wanted to escape. He was trying to hide himself in the underground. He managed to survive for almost 15 days, but he was not able to survive anymore. So Agni was chasing him on one side, and Krishna was chasing him on the other side with his chakra. So what this Maya Dhanava did is, very intelligently, he went to Arjuna and he took the shelter of Arjuna. He lowered the weapons and asked Arjuna for the protection. So, because if a Kshatriya somebody comes to a Kshatriya for a shelter, it is the duty of the Kshatriya to provide him the shelter. So, we also saw that when Kali took the shelter of Parikshit Maharaj, when Parikshit Maharaj knew that Kali is not good, he wants to kill the Kali, he was taking the sword, but still, since the Kali took the shelter of Parikshit Maharaj gave him protection. But what did he do that? He only gave 4 places where the Kali can live. Can anybody remember what are the 4 places where Kali lives in Kali Yuga? It also is related to the 4 regulative principles.
Where there's meat eating, where there's
Yes, where there is meat eating.
The alcohol
intoxication,
illicit sex,
and gambling. Along with that, he also said one more thing, where there is gold. Because whenever there is a gold, because in the acquiring gold, people do a lot of vices because you become so greedy to accumulate more and more vices. So in that process, people generally do a lot of adharmic activities. So these are the 4 prominent places. Along with that, the 5th place is the gold. So that's why we are following the 4 regulative principles so that the effect of Kali does not come in us. Okay.
Which is the 4th place you said, Mataji?
Gambling. Yeah, wherever there is a gambling happening, right? Jua and all those things. So we can know even the Las Vegas, even the materialist people call it as a sin city, right? Not only the devotees, it is also called as sin city, right?
Yeah.
So even materialists know that it is a sin city, right? So that is how our modes of nature acts. Many things in the life, people know that what they are doing is wrong, but we just cannot give up because we are all bound by our modes of nature. We know that it is sinful, but we still end up doing it. That is why we need to take the shelter of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By taking his shelter, only by his benediction, we can come out of the evil effects of Kali. Otherwise, on our own, it's very, very difficult, right? But what did Arjuna said? And Mayadhanava was given protection. So he felt very much indebted to Arjuna. And he said, please let me know what can I do for you? Because he saved his life. So he felt very much indebted to Arjuna. And what did Arjuna say? He said, I just did my duty as a Kshatriya. I did not do this out of expectation. I didn't give protection to you thinking that you will do something for me, right? So this is also a lesson for devotees like us. So whenever we are trying to serve Krishna, in any manner, whether it is in the form of any seva, in the form of Lakshmi, or in the form of book distribution, or in the form of volunteering for some program, and whatever it is, so we should always remember that I am just doing this to please Krishna. Ahaitukya apratihata, without any motivation, and it should be uninterrupted. So we should not go and ask Krishna, please give me good wealth, please give me good health, make my L3 and L4 proper. Not for this. We are not approaching Krishna to get our personal service, for our personal service, whereas we are approaching Krishna to please Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. By serving the senses of Krishna, our senses gets automatically satisfied. So he's telling, now Mayadhanava insisted, you please let me know, you have done so much to me, I have to do something to you. So now what did Arjuna says? Because Arjuna is a devotee of Krishna. So he says that if you want to please me, please Krishna. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. So he is now directing Mayadhanava to go to Krishna. So by pleasing Krishna, you will please me. So Mayadhanava, now he goes to Krishna and asks him how to please him. Now what did Krishna do? So Krishna is also very, very Bhaktavatsala. Krishna wants his devotee to be pleased. So Krishna tells Mayadhanava to build a big assembly house for Yudhishthira. Remember that house which was built by Mayadhanava? That is a very big house. On the other hand, Krishna wants to give the pleasure to Yudhishthir. And so we cannot take personal service, but he built an unmatchable house for Yudhishthir. That this house was built with many jewels, which Mayadhanava acquired from many yajnas that were performed by the king. And the house was so luxurious that even Devata's house could not be comparable to that. We have heard, like in Swargaloka, the houses are so beautiful, but here this is even beyond any Devata's house. So such is a very beautiful house which was built by Maya Dhanava to Pandavas. Okay. So can we go to the next sloka?
Mataji,
Please
Hare
repeat after me.
I think some one of the Matajis can mute the mic. It's like some background noise is coming.
Noise is coming. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Harshit,
Yeah.
Harshit Mataji, I think.
Who is having the sound?
Harchit.
I think, yeah,
Okay.
Harshit Mataji.
Okay. Can I make Shweta Mataji? Can I make you as a co-host so you can make a host so you can control it?
Okay.
Okay, I'll just make you a host. Okay. Okay. So can we go to the next sloka?
Tanuja Mataji, just
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
So this chanting of 16 rounds doesn't come in one of the regulative principle of ISKCON?
No, it is not a regulative principle. Regulative principle is mainly talking about the don'ts, what all the things that are unfavorable to bhakti. So only when we give up the unfavorable things for the bhakti, then the favorable thing is chanting the 16 rounds. Of course, when one goes for initiation, one is going for diksha from a guru, 16 rounds, a minimum of 16 rounds is a must.
Is expected.
Is
yes.
expected. Yeah. You cannot take Diksha just because you are following the 4 regulative principles. To take Diksha, you should follow the 4 regulative principles and chant a minimum of 16 rounds. So the 16 rounds is the one that is favorable to Krishna consciousness. The other 4 things does not make you a devotee. The other 4 things, by following that, we come to the platform of a human. That's it.
Okay.
Otherwise, there is no difference between a human and an animal if you cannot control your senses. So these 4 regulative principles is just bringing a man in the standard of a human.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why it's important to follow these 4 regulative principles. Okay. Can we go to the next sloka?
Yeah.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Rishikesho.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Poundram Datmo Mahashankam.
Poundram Dadmo
Mahashankham.
Bhima Karma Vrikodara.
Karma Vrikodara.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Poundram Datmo Mahashankam.
Poundram Datmo Mahashankham.
Bhima Karma Vrikodara.
Bhima
Karma Vrikodara.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Poundram Datmo Mahashankam.
Poundram
Datmo Mahashankham.
Bhima Karma Vrikodara.
Karma Vrikodara.
Would anybody like to recite this sloka?
Mataji, can I?
Yeah, please.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Panchajanyam Rishikesho.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Devadattam Dhananjaya.
Poundram Dadmo Mahashankham.
Poundram Datmo Mahashankam.
Bhima Karma Vrikodaraha.
Bhima Karma Vrikodara. Word to word translation and translation, please.
Panchajanyam, the conchal name Panchajanyam. Rishika Ishaha Rishikesha. Krishna, the Lord who directs the senses of the devotees. Devadattam, the conchal name Devadatta. Dhananjayaha, Dhananjay, Arjun, the winner of wealth. Poundram, the conch named Poundra. Dadmo, blue. Mahashankham, the terrific conch shell. Bhimakarma, one who performs Herculean tasks. Vriko Udaraha, the ferocious eater Bhima. Translation: Lord Krishna knew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjun blew his, the Devadatta, and Bhim, the ferocious eater and performer of Herculean tasks, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Lord Krishna is referred to as Rishikesh in this verse because he is the owner of all the senses. The living entities are a part and parcel of him, and therefore the senses of the living entities are also part and parcel of his senses. The impersonalists cannot account for the senses of the living entities, and therefore they are always anxious to describe all the living entities as senseless or impersonal. The Lord, situated in the hearts of all living entities, directs their senses. But he directs in terms of surrender of the living entity. And in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. Here on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Lord directly controlled the transcendental senses of Arjun, and thus his particular name of Rishikesh. The Lord has different names according to his different activities. For example, his name is Madhusudan because he killed the demon of the name Madhu. His name is Govind because he gives pleasure to the cows and to the senses. His name is Vasudev because he appeared as the son of Vasudev. His name is Devaki Nandan because he accepted Devaki as his mother. His name is Yashoda Nandan because he awarded his childhood pastimes to Yashoda at Vrindavan. His name is Parthasarathi because he worked as a charioteer of his friend Arjun. Similarly, his name is Rishikesha because he gave direction to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjun.
We'll just stop here
Okay.
and then we will discuss this and we'll go to the next paragraph.
Yes.
So here Krishna is particularly, what is the name mentioned about Krishna is called as Panchajanya Rishikesho. He is called as Rishikesha. What does Rishikesha means? One who is the master of the senses. That's what we said. Sarvapadi Vinirbhuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhaktiruchate. When we are serving the senses of Krishna, our senses gets automatically satisfied. Sarvapadi Vinirmuktam, Sarva Upadi. We come out of all sort of designations. What are some of the designations that we are having for ourselves? So many designations we are carrying with us, right? What are some of the designations like? I am so and so person, I am from this particular community, I am from this place, I am a woman, I am a mother, I've studied this, I've studied that. Like that, we have taken so many designations for ourselves. But what is our actual constitutional position? We are all the eternal servants of Krishna, right? Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nityada. So, one who is serving the senses of Krishna, here Arjuna being a pure devotee of Krishna, he was present by the Arjuna's side, and because of that, he was directly supporting the Arjuna. And he was helping him to purify his senses. So for us also, Mayavadi says that, you have to control the senses, means become senseless. How can one become senseless? We have to eat something, isn't it? The desire is there with the soul, but how do we direct the desire? The desire, suppose you want to eat something very nice, so you don't have to abstain yourself from eating that. Rather, you can offer it to Krishna and then you can eat it as a prasadam, isn't it? You want to hear to some nice music. People are hearing to so many Bollywood, Hollywood, this, that music. Why? Because they're trying to give the pleasure for their ears. And we also like to listen to nice music. But what do we listen? We listen to Kirtans, right? So and we listen to Bhagavadgita. We listen to Bhagavadgita Katha. By hearing that, what is happening to our ears? Our ears are getting purified, isn't it? And we also like to see something very beautiful. So what do we see? We take the darshan of Radha and Krishna. There are so many temples all over the world in ISKCON and many other temples. So we can always go online and take their darshan. And by seeing the beautiful way in which they are decked up, we can provide the pleasure to our eyes, isn't it? So these are the thing. And we also see that particular word is chosen to describe a particular person. Even in the previous slokas, remember what was the name of Satyaki? What was he called as? Yuyudhan. Remember whom he was anxious to fight. And even why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya? Because he got a lot of wealth for Yudhishthir. When Yudhishthir wanted to perform the Rajasuya sacrifice, Arjuna got a lot of wealth for him. So Krishna is also called Devaki Nandan, Nandanandan, Parthasarathi. So the great persons, they are given different name based on their qualities. Okay. And Bhima. Who is Bhima? The one who can do a very Herculean task. And nobody can compare the way he can fight and the way he eats. He's a voracious eater. In fact, once it was so happened that the offering has to go to the Rakshasa, and Bhima ate all the offering that was supposed to go to the Rakshasa, and he had a fight with that Hidamba. So this was one incident which happened in Mahabharata. So Bhima is a voracious eater. Even then, if somebody is performing a very Herculean task, for example, if somebody is a very great book distributor, then we call that person as Bhima Karma, because it is a Herculean task. Some people who are distributing like thousands of books in a single day. And there is one Prabhu called Mahotsaha Prabhu. He's based in Atlanta, US. He has set a world record of distributing something like 5,150 books on a single day. And that too in the streets of America. That includes something like some 55, 60 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam also. So some people, some devotees, they are blessed with so much of mercy of Guru and Krishna, and they also have a great desire to serve the parampara. So we call it as Bhima Karma. So now we have to understand there was a particular name mentioned, the conch shells of the Krishna and Pandavas. Did you see that they are all given a particular name? What is the conch shell of Krishna? Panchajanya. What is the conch shell of Arjuna? Dhananjaya. Arjuna is addressed as Dhananjaya Devadatta. And what is the conch shell of Bhima? It is Poundra. So to understand how about the qualities of these conch shells, so we can go to the past times from Mahabharata and Bhagavad Mahapuran to understand how Krishna got this conch shell called Panchajanya. So can we try to understand how Krishna got the Panchajanya? So the name of the Krishna's conch shell is called as Panchajanya. So Krishna went to Gurukul to Sandipani Muni, and he studied all the 4 Vedas, and he also studied 64 arts from Sandipani Muni. How many days did Krishna and Balaram took to study these 64 arts? If you have read the Krishna, pardon?
64 days?
Just 64 days, exactly. Every day they were learning one art. So they finished the entire 64 arts just in 64 days. So now they completed their education with Sandipani Muni. And it is always, whenever a disciple finishes his studies, he goes to Guru and he tries to offer a dakshina for the Guru. So now Krishna and Balaram, they are going to Sandipani Muni and they are asking their master, please let us know what dakshina you would like to take from us. And Sandipani Muni has spent enough time with Krishna, Balaram, and even Sudama was also with them. So he could understand the transcendental power of Krishna. So once it so happened, and when Sandipani Muni, along with his wife and the son, when they went to Prabhasa Kshetra, I think some of you can remember the Prabhasa Kshetra, we went near the Somnath. Isn't it? Shweta Mataji, I think you remember that? Yes. So when the son took bath in the Prabhasa Kshetra, he disappeared, the Sandipani Muni's son. And so now the Sandipani Muni is asking Krishna, so that I would like to have my son back, because he knows that Krishna's power. So he's asking this as his dakshina. And Krishna went to the ocean, and Varunadev appeared, and he's asking Krishna, my lord, please let me know how do I serve you. And Krishna tells him to give back the son of his teacher, Sandipani Muni. And Varuna said that, no, I don't have his son. I did not take it. Actually, it is a demon, Panchajanya, who has taken it. So Krishna jumps in the ocean and he finds the Panchajanya. So this Shankha of Krishna was Panchajanya. Who was he? He was a demon. So he tore his belly, but he could not find the son of Sandipani Muni. And later on, he goes to Yamaraj and he finds there. So now we can see that different Puranas gives different description of this incidents. So the son was arrested in the body of the conch shells. So the Asuras usually live in Shanka also. So now let us know how Krishna got Panchajanya. When you know that how he got this Panchajanya, then you can understand what sort of person is Gauravas fighting with. So one Puranas give a little bit of story, another Puranas gives little more information. So the Acharyas put them all together and give it to us. So actually the son of Sandipani Muni is known as Madhumangal. And when Madhumangal was reclaimed, and when Krishna gave him back to Sandipani Muni and his wife, and they said that because you reclaimed my child, so he will be an eternal associate of you both. So you can see that in Krishna Leela, the Madhumangal is one of the Gopa in the Krishna Leela. Have you heard of him? Madhumangal's name?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. So Madhumangal was always with him. So since the father of Madhumangal was Krishna's teacher, so they gave a benediction to Madhumangal that Madhumangal will be the teacher of all the Leelas. So every Krishna Leela, you will see that Madhumangal was there. And some more stories about the Panchajanya. So it once happened that the conch shell of Krishna, he became little proud. Why he became proud? He was thinking that Krishna is always keeping me in his hands. And Krishna blows the conch shell at every auspicious incident. And I can feel the nectar of his lips. So the conch shell became little proud about himself that he is a very close associate of Krishna. And goddess of fortune also could not get such an opportunity. So he got so much proud that he thought that even I am even better than Lakshmi Devi, because I am getting that benediction even which Lakshmi Devi cannot take. So Lakshmi Devi heard it and she raised her eyebrows and she thought that you are a servant of Krishna and you're becoming very proud. So she did not like it. You know how a servant of Krishna can become proud. So she cursed him to become an Asura. And along with that, she also gave a benediction that he will be killed by Krishna and he will come back to the original state. So now you can understand why Krishna tore the belly of the Panchajanya and he reclaimed it. So this is what a curse which the conch shell got it, and then he became an Asura, and by the mercy of Krishna, he again became a conch shell. So now everybody can understand the glories of the Shankha of Krishna. It is by the mercy of Lakshmi Devi and Bhagavan. So we must understand actually that eternal associates of Krishna, they actually don't get very proud like us, but just they are enacting like this so that they are giving some lessons to us. So devotees who are aspiring to be the devotees of Krishna, from this incident, we should know that we should also not become proud. Any task that we do for Krishna, sometimes it can be little good and sometimes people may praise us, but we should always remember that we are always the eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Nityera Krishna Das. And with that, we should always serve the Krishna. And another Purana also says that this Shankha was obtained from Samudra Mandan Leela. So during that Leela also this Shankha came that. And another incident, Puranas also says that once there was a Brahmana's wife, and this Panchajanya Shanka was making a heavy, loud sound. So by hearing this sound, the Brahmana's wife, she had a miscarriage because the sound was too high that uh, she lost the baby in the womb, and so she cursed him to be the asuras. So these are all different pastimes from different Puranas which talks about this conch shell of Krishna. So but one thing that we should always remember is we should not become proud. Pride, there is a saying, what does the saying says? Pride comes before the fall. So anytime we are becoming proud, we should always remember that this is something that we are trying to fall. We may fall down. So better anytime when we started feeling proud of ourselves, even in a very small incidents, we can feel proud. We may think even just by doing 4 rounds or 8 rounds, we may think, no, I am better than my other friends who are not doing anything. They are just wasting their life by just eating, sleeping, and they are waking up very late. They don't do anything. I am at least better off compared to them, that I am listening to Bhagavad Gita, I'm reading Bhagavad Gita. Even these things also can become pride for us. So we should always know that we are only the eternal servants of Krishna. And whatever mercy we are getting is only through the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Without their mercy, we cannot even chant a single round. Without their mercy, we will not have the courage or the confidence or the determination to follow the 4 regulative principles. Okay. So is it clear the story of how Krishna got this Shanka Panchajanya? Okay. And Devadatta. So Devadatta is whose Shanka? Devadatta Dhananjaya. Okay. So this was a Shanka given by Maya Dhanava to Arjuna. And this Devadatta is actually the conch shell of Varuna, which Maya Dhanava took from Varuna and gave it to Arjuna. And Poundra is the Shanka that is also given by Maya Dhanava. Poundra means the vertical lines. So these are some of the descriptions of the conch shells of the Arjuna, Krishna, and the Bhima. So there is one more paragraph which is pending. Anushka Mataji, would you like to continue this?
Yes, Master.
Yeah. Arjuna is referred. Yeah.
Arjun is referred to as Dhananjay in this verse because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to make expenditures for different sacrifices. Similarly, Bhim is known as Vrakodhara because he could eat as ferociously as he could perform Herculean tasks such as killing the demon Hidimba. So, the particular types of conch shell blown by the different personalities on the side of the Pandavas, beginning with the lords, were all very encouraging to the fighting soldiers. On the other side, there were no such credits, nor the presence of Lord Krishna, the supreme director, nor that the goodness of fortune,
Goddess of fortune.
goddess of fortune. So they were predestined to lose the battle. And that was the message announced by the sounds of the conch shells.
So we can see such a beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada. He has brought bhakti in a very first chapter, right in the 15th sloka, right? So this is the difference that we can see by reading the Bhagavad Gita from some other publications and by Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, where he has brought the component of Krishna right in the beginning. So because Krishna was in the side of Arjuna, this shows that the victory is certain, isn't it? So it is the sloka is the same. Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadatta Dhananjaya. But how the interpretation in the bhava of bhakti, that is given by Srila Prabhupada. So in this sloka today, we understood how Krishna got this particular conch shell Panchajanya, and we also understood the significance of the name Rishikesha, where Krishna is the master of the senses. And we also understood that wherever there is Krishna is there, the victory is for certain. So these were all some of the thing. And actually the next few slokas are also the different conch shells which was blown by different fighters. So can we take 5 minutes to do this? because there's nothing like a very great significance. So they all had a different conch shell. So can we do this sloka? Will you all have the time, or we'll do in the next class?
Mataji, let's do it next class.
Okay, no problem. No problem. We'll do in the next class. So any questions or any realizations or any comments on today's class? Is everything clear? Any new learnings that you got from today's class?
Yeah, I would say that the story which you had told about the conch shell, it is again related to the earlier story which you had mentioned about Sandeep Muni's son. I thought the story ended there, but I think there was furthermore that from where the son came and how that he was a conch shell of Krishna.
Yeah. So it is important because we can just through Bhagavad Gita, we can just breeze through that. But by understanding how this Panchajanya, when we recite the name Panchajanya, we can understand who Panchajanya was, isn't it? And by knowing how Panchajanya got proud and he became an Asura, so we can also take a lesson that we should never become proud in our devotional service or anything for that matter. Right? Because pride comes before the fall. It is not given by Krishna. It is given by some worldly person, isn't it? So this pride can be very dangerous, which everybody knows that. So let us all remind the servant of Krishna and with our own capacity. But we should always endeavor to serve Krishna more and more. With every passing day, with every passing month, and with every passing year, we should always think, how can I serve Krishna more and more? What more I can do the sadhana for Krishna? How can I? So this should be our attitude. And we can also understand that Krishna also wants to serve as devotee, right? When Mayadhanava approached Krishna, what did Krishna tell Mayadhanava? To help Yudhishthir, isn't it? So this clearly shows that when we are serving Krishna, automatically Krishna gives whatever we need. We don't want to ask him, but our mood and attitude should be only to serve the Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Nadanam, Najanam, Na Sundarim, Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye. I don't want wealth, I don't want women, I don't want followers. Mama Janmani Janmani Shware Bhavatat Bahaituki. He said, let me be your servant. Life after life after life, let me just remain as your servant. But generally, when you're in the spiritual path, what do you the people say? Dhanam dehi, vidya dehi, ayur dehi, 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 dehi. Isn't it? What do you ask? Have you heard of these things? Dhanam dehi, ayur, vidya dehi, all the things? Yes, Matajis?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. But now what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying us? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundari. Everything he said, no, 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 no. Right? So this is our attitude while approaching the Krishna. So even for me, after reading Prabhupada's books, it has totally, opened up a different, life in me. I can understand how I used to pray before and now how do we approach God. So let us all aspire to become great, nice devotee of Krishna and serve him, serve Rishikesha. Okay, Hare Krishna. So should we end the class? Should we do the Narsimha prayers? Just 2 minutes? Yeah, I think I meant to send the Narsimha prayers along with it. Now I will do that. Sorry that I'm forgetting this Narsimha prayers too. One second. Is it visible? Oh, sorry.
No, it is not.
Not it?
No.
Okay, maybe I think I didn't. Okay, share. Okay, now I think it will be visible. It's visible now?
No, no, Mataji.
Even your video is off. I don't know, maybe.
It's not visible now also?
No. Can anybody else
can.
can see it?
Oh, no, I cannot share because you became the host. No, Shweta Mataji.
So what
That's
do I
why.
do now?
Yeah. Please share your, make me the host so I can share.
How do I do that? Wait.
Okay. Otherwise, if you all have, can we just sing that? Do you all have the prayers?
Host tools. How do you make
Just
host
make
tools?
me a host. That's it. Yeah. Unless otherwise you make me the host. Now I cannot become a host.
No, I'm saying, how do you make a host person? I mean, where do you go?
Yeah,
Mataji,
just
there'll be
touch.
an option there. There are like 3 dots. You just have to click on that, and there's an option to make Mataji the host.
Then make
Can you
host.
see the 3 dots?
I think I missed that thing. I saw it, but I think I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
now
got
the
it
host.
now. Now
Yeah.
I can do. Sorry, that's why I couldn't share. Because
No worries.
just to have the control, now I gave you the host thing. Na?
Yes.
Okay, that's why. 1 second. I think now it is visible, isn't it?
Not yet.
Not it?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Finally, okay. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladaladaini Hiranyakashipurvashaka Shilatankanakalaye Ito Narsima Parato Narsima Yato Yami Tato Narsima Bhagi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimho Narsimhamadim Sharanam Prapadye Tava Kara Kamala Varenakam Adbhuta Shringam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Narsimhadev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय भक्ति शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय भगवद गीता as it is की जय Hare Krishna. So we'll stop the class here. So we'll continue in the next class. So I hope you're all doing some kind of book distribution by your own self. Lekha Mataji, you're doing book distributions there?
No, Mataji. Normally we donate and to the
Okay.
Prabhus over there in temple, and
Okay.
they do the
They
distribution.
distribute it. Okay. But you're not doing it by your own self.
Not at Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. You can try Mataji in front of Walmart, HEB. So many Indians are coming. Just put in the cart. Why don't you approach and try? It may be very nice because donation is good on one side, but you can also approach people and you can distribute it. Yeah.
I will
Because
try.
Mataji, when sometimes, when I'm distributing books now, I met one girl and she was telling that, I was looking for few years for Bhagavad Gita and today I got it. So some people are actually looking for Gita and while we distribute, they get it. So it's a good opportunity when you actually show people who do not have, they may try to take it. And by talking a little bit about the significance of Bhagavad Gita, they might as well read it. So please try Mataji in case you can also do some book distribution.
Okay.
Just try, take at least some 5 books or 10 books around in front of the stores like that. The Mahotsaha Prabhu is in Atlanta. He distributed 5,100 books. He's also in US only. So there's a huge potential, Mataji. Everybody are looking for such books. So, in fact, I have one book called Finding Our Lost Happiness. So it so happened that there are some people who say, I have all the books, they don't even want to get anything. But the moment I saw Finding Our Lost Happiness, immediately they want to get it. So we know that people are all not happy. They're all, having some kind of suffering. So giving these books can definitely help the jiva. And
Okay,
all of
Mata.
you, please try to do some book distribution, however, wherever you can. And this is one service which is very, very dear to Krishna and dear to Srila Prabhupada. Krishna says, Nachatasman Manusheshu Kashinyati Kritama. There is nobody more dear to me than the one who spreads my glories to everyone. And preaching, the best way is to distribute books. How much we can talk to somebody about Krishna? 2 to 3 minutes. But when we give the books can talk to them, right? Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.